Number 2 is not the goal. Number 1, lock and load. Hall of Fame, rock and roll. Call my name, Hoffa goes.
All right, we back. My expert opinion. Today we have a special guest. When you talk about the history of New York City, when you talk about streets and politics, there's not many people that can cross over from one side to the other. But today we have someone who knows both sides very well. And he's actually running for mayor right now. Curtis Sliwa is in the building. My bad. I don't know where I got Adam from.
Well, I ran against Eric Adams 2021. It was just me and him. And
Right.
I said in the 2 debates, there will be chaos, there will be corruption. I've known him for 40 years. Everybody says, come on, Curtis. Now everybody pats me on the back so hard I got to go for a chiropractic adjustment. So if I was right then, you think I'm right now? That's what I always flip on people. It's like, why wouldn't you listen to me now? I was right all along the way about Eric Adams, the most corrupt mayor in the history of New York City. And that's saying a lot. We've had a lot of corrupt mayors.
Wow. Well, in your opinion, who was the best mayor that we've had?
Oh, for me, it was Rudy Giuliani.
Giuliani.
I was his apprentice. I campaigned for him in '89 when he lost to Dinkins, fair and square. And I campaigned for him when he won against Dinkins in '93, fair and square. And what a lot of people don't know about those elections is that the racial tension that ousted Ed Koch, because they always want to run, for 3 terms, 4 terms. It's like, that's it. That's why we have term limits now. Koch wanted to run for a 4th term. We had so many racial problems. We had Howard Beach. We had Yusuf Hawkins. We would go on and on and on and on. Right. And he wouldn't leave. So David Dinkins challenged him in a Democratic primary and beat him decisively. Everybody said, this is good. First African-American mayor. He's going to bring peace, racial healing. Except they didn't realize that David Dinkins was a man that everybody respected. They liked him. He was like your grandfather. But, man, he wasn't up to the job. I mean, 2,000 killings a year, 10,000 unsolved shootings. So Rudy ran against him first in '89. He was the U.S. Attorney, Southern District. The polls said the day before, because there was no early voting, that he would lose by 14 points. He lost by 2 points. 60% of the registered voters showed up. By '93, only 57% of the registered voters showed up. He won by 2%. Very close election. Right. And people say, oh, it was all the white people in Staten Island, they wanted secession. They all came out. No. You do what they call the pullouts, the analytics of the election. David Dinkins was loved in Southeast Queens. First African-American mayor. Right. Very dignified, like I said. Spoke well, none of the thuggish ways like of Eric Adams. You would never catch David Dinkins hanging out in the club till the break of dawn. No. He's a gentleman, but well-dressed. Right. I mean, he went to A.J. Lester's in Harlem. A.J. Lester's, that's the place he used to go. Him, Charlie Rangel, Basil Patterson, who was the father of Governor Patterson, and then the head of inner city broadcasting, Percy Sutton. The 4 of them, like, man, they were dressed to the nines, but gentlemen. But he wasn't ready to handle a city that was out of control. And so Rudy won barely. At that time, we're talking about the crack era. We're talking about unemployment. We're talking about buildings burning. Rudy Giuliani coming in after that. What are the qualities that you think that Rudy Giuliani had that made him the best man? He focused on specifics. So, for instance, you were drinking a beer and it wasn't in a paper bag. Cops grab you, take you to the precinct. You've never been locked up before. You're like sweating. DTs come over and say, hey, what's going on in the neighborhood? What can you tell me that we don't know? And you're figuring, oh my God, I'm going to get jammed up. I may go upstate. And you start all of a sudden, you're blabbering about bait and switch, drug dealers here. And they're writing down their notes, saying all we're going to give you is a disappearance ticket. Right. Just show up at a court date. The guy or the gal never realized that if they just stay cool, calm, and collected, they were going to get a disappearance ticket and walk out.
Right.
But it worked on them psychologically because most people have never been jammed up. They've never been arrested. They don't know what it's like to go into a precinct. In fact, walking into a precinct, even if you're just there to report crime, you're not, somebody accused of crime, is they treat you like, dreck. There's a Yiddish word, dreck, like what you have on the bottom of your shoes.
Yeah.
They don't want to deal with you. It's not like you're a client, you come in, well, how can I help? They ignore you. I mean, how many times I've seen people walk in? Not my job. No, not my job. So then you walk out the door.
Right.
Because they know you're there to report crime, and that's going to make the precinct look bad.
Right.
But if you're a criminal, remember, it used to be that if you walked in and you gave the cops a lip, you got a wooden shampoo.
Wooden shampoo.
Wooden shampoo.
We're gonna hear a lot of these terms
remember,
tonight.
it wasn't just their baton, their nightstick. They had truncheons, they had blackjacks. Man, they put a beating on you.
Yeah.
And so there was the code of the streets that prevailed. But what Rudy did, he said zero tolerance. Lock them up for simple things. And they will give up information that will lead to bigger things, even though you were never really in serious violation. Most people didn't know that. Mm-hmm. Most people think they can outsmart the DTs. I got locked up one time in the 73rd precinct. Mm-hmm. They thought, because I was the only white guy living in Brownsville, that it must have been me that killed this guy, because the description was a white guy.
Right.
So they're playing good cop, bad cop. No. You never win that game. You immediately say, I refuse to speak. I have the right to an attorney. I can't tell you how many, especially brothers who've been watching too many movies and TV, think that they're going to do better than two DTs who sweat people down for a living. You have a right to an attorney. Always use that, because you can talk yourself into double trouble.
Can you say that again for all the rappers out there?
Please.
Say that one more time.
Drill rappers, whatever you are, you may be very good at what you do in rap, but these DTs, they've studied psychology, good cop, bad cop, and they will spin you. And by the way, they will get one of your homies to be crying to his mommy, and they will give you up in a heartbeat. Mm-hmm. Don't play with the PD. You're an American citizen. Even if you're a migrant, you still are entitled to have an attorney. Now, look, I'm the guy who goes out and believe you got to lock up criminals, but you have rights too. Right. And there is proper procedure. Everybody is entitled to their day in court, due process, whether you're a citizen or a migrant. And that's really what our Constitution guarantees. So why wouldn't you avail yourself of that? Look at the Central Park Five. I thought they were guilty. I had to end up apologizing when the facts came out that it was another guy whose DNA was on the underwear of the poor woman who was beaten and raped. And he said, no, that was me. And I saw the film of these kids.
Right.
That were even their parents, but their parents didn't know. Mm-hmm. These cops are using psychology. Look, cops get promoted for the number of arrests they make.
Right.
Not for writing tickets. So they'll use psychology. And some of them think they're doing the right thing, but in reality, sometimes they're jamming people up. How many times have you seen people do 25 years because somebody jammed them up, and then all of a sudden, DNA, it wasn't you.
Right. So if you were in this position, let's say you are elected.
Right.
What would you do about the corruption in the police department and the racial tension? Because during Giuliani's time, there was a lot of racial tension, and I feel like a lot of officers were getting out of hand in that time. They were abusing their power.
Oh yeah. Well,
how would you stabilize that?
Well, let's look at the case of Abner Louima. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Grabbed outside by Haitian Club Flatbush, taken to the 70th precinct for a tombstone. Mm-hmm. Two guys who were all roided up. Schwartz, and I forget the
Justin Volpe. Right.
I mean, you look at them in their high school graduation photos, they're like, normal look, they're all roided up. Mm-hmm. Because if you're a gigantor in the streets, you get respect. I don't care if you're black or white or any shape. If you're a gigantor in the streets, you get respect.
Right.
If you're a skinny Bellini, you get no respect. But those steroids, they get to your head. And what they did to Abner Louima even cops who've been on the job couldn't believe that. In the bathroom, you took a plunger and you raped the guy anally over and over? Are you out of your mind? And then all hell broke loose.
Yeah.
And people were upset. But you see, when you're a man or a woman in blue, you got to take the rap for some of the bad cops, unfortunately, because there's the blue wall of silence. We got to eliminate the blue wall of silence. Now, they have Internal Affairs Bureau, IAB. Everybody hates the IAB because they think, you know, they're going to snitch you out as a cop. Look, if you got bad cops in the ranks, you got to get rid of them because then everybody thinks you're bad. I remember in the age of crack, they would not. This is Koch and Benjamin Ward, who was the police commissioner. They would not let uniformed cops make drug arrests. And we had a headquarters right in Times Square, 46 and 8. And guys who were selling crack by the handful, uniformed cops would pass by. They weren't permitted to make busts. It was right there. Because they said, no, you call the precinct DTs, you know, who are part of the drug, you know, enforcement squad. They'll come, they'll make the arrest. Too late. Then people see this and they think, oh, cops are on the tape. They're not making busts of drugs, drug dealers and that. Being a cop, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because there are always going to be a few who break the rules. It's important we create a mechanism so you can freely out anybody who's violating the rules. But there's a blue wall of silence. It's just like in everything. Snitches get stitches and end up in ditches, no matter where you go. I'm the biggest rat that ever lived. I've eaten more Parmesan cheese. I'm a two-legged rat. I've ratted out more bad guys, and they would say to me, man, you're nothing but a blah, 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 rat. I said, yeah, and I love that Parmesan cheese. I have some Gambino guys who came up to me at the 3rd Avenue Festival, right? It's the annual festival, Bay Ridge. And these guys came up to me. I had my oldest son with me, who's a guardian angel now. They surrounded us.
Anthony, correct?
Anthony, right, who almost died, a vicious gang beatdown. But he was walking with us, and they come up to me and said, man, you a rat. And I say to them, yeah, I love to eat the Parmesan cheese. They say that's an ethnic slur. What, Parmesan cheese? Should I said cheddar cheese? So right away.
So wait. These guys, they pointed out that I was an ethnic slur.
Yes, Parmesan cheese.
To who though?
Right, cool.
To who?
Italians. So they're reaching for their blades. My oldest son goes up there and says, put up your dukes. And I'm proud, but I realize his mother will kill me if anything happens to him.
Right.
And they looked at him, and they said to some of our guys, who the hell is this kid? That's Sliwa's son. And so they were ready to, like, jump. And then some of the older, wiser guys in the crowd chilled them out. But these guys had just gotten out of jail. They clearly had guys who went to jail because I ratted them out. And so they wanted to settle the beef in the middle of the street festival. And the cops suddenly disappeared. They were scared. These were bad, bad boys.
Right.
So that's the kind of life that I've lived.
Well, let's go back to that. The Magnificent 13.
Yes.
79 was it that it started?
1979.
What inspired this?
Well, I'm a night manager at Mickey D's.
It's hot for trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rapper.